Hi guys, thanks for joining us. It's been interesting for me. I've been pretty much off the radar for the last 12 months, and I've got a very special guest with me, Muriel Braun, who's joining us for our upcoming event for CommUnion in the Currumbin Valley in the back of the Gold Coast this coming Friday for 11/11. Hi Muriel, thanks for joining us.
No problems. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. You joined us for our last event as well that we had in at Currumbin Valley Harvest in the Currumbin Valley, which is a beautiful, beautiful part of the world.
It was absolutely gorgeous with all the lights and the people and the atmosphere, and the food was amazing. Yeah. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's a really, really special place.
It is very special. It's energetically special, but also the people that end up coming to the event. And we've got catering with for Garden of Vegan. And those guys are doing the catering as sponsors for the event. They're doing a capital raise for the expansion of their business at the moment. But I'll talk a little bit more about that event as well, but I want to sort of touch on what you're going to be speaking at the event really quickly in this 10 minutes or 15 minutes or however long it takes. Yes. But also we were touching on, just before we went live, we were talking about the intensity, and I think I'm probably feeling it more and more as time goes by about the intensity of energy coming up or to a full moon. So we've got a blood moon lunar eclipse that's about to occur tomorrow. And,
that's correct.
And there's a lot of people bringing up a lot of stuff at the moment for themselves and in others, which is like super intense. Can you just like say a little bit about like what is the blood moon lunar eclipse? What is that about and how's that affecting people?
Yes, what we call exactly right, a full moon total lunar eclipse, and exactly right, it's a blood moon. I mean, because of the color that it has. It's going to be tomorrow night at 7:09 p.m. for Brisbane. So the reason why it's so intense, if the full moon was not enough and an eclipse as well, we've got multiple oppositions. So we've got Mercury that is opposed Uranus. So Mercury is speaking, the exchanges and stuff like that, and Uranus brings surprises and bad news or things like that. We've got Uranus plus the moon that is opposite the sun, which is the self, so emotion and surprises attacking the self. We've got Mercury and Venus that are opposed. We've got Uranus that is in hard angle and square to Saturn as well. So it is, I will call it the last big washing machine of the year, where everything is getting washed and coming up and things that, you need to see or you need to know. But there is a way of coping with it. And my strongest advice will be not to initiate anything, because if you initiate anything with that eclipse moon, you're actually doing something not at the right time. So it's something that can actually blow up. You need to respond if you don't have the choice, or if you can't wait until the 11th, then you will respond. Responding is fine, but it's better to wait. The more you wait, the better, because you want to be doing your answer or solving the problem when the stars are good, that it is for you or for the person creating the problem. They don't know better, maybe, but it's better that you solve the problem for everyone when the stars are moving forwards, because you want, you want it to be a solution and you want it to be solved with good aspects. So the best way is to do it from the 11th. And if you can wait next week, 14, 15, 16, it will be better. And I promise that then we will go towards a very good time of 2022 with the new moon in Sagittarius, the 23rd. And it's going to go crescendo, and we'll have a nice Christmas. But I will definitely be careful of the way you react.
Well, this is the thing. Like, it's like happening on a personal level, and it's playing out in the microcosm on a personal level, then also the macrocosm that's playing out in the world. And I've been saying to our community for a while, our Conscious Investor Network community, that the cliche or the phrase is, millionaires don't follow astrology, billionaires do. But there's definitely these guys that are like playing the flip. They're not of the light, but they're actually using this energy to their advantage.
Absolutely. And even political people. I've been working, since I was very young in political teams, only for the good ones, definitely not for the ones that are part of that agenda. But yes, absolutely. They've always been using it. Nostradamus was already helping before, and they still do. No one starts a war or makes a decision or even, instill a new law without looking at it. And if you look at those last 2 years, each time that there are events, signs or that they are doing things, it's always in sync with the stars. They know exactly what they are doing, you know. So you can also use it obviously in a positive way, and solving your problems like that, and succeed like that, and change your life like that, and being in sync, you know. I was helping my parents. My father ended up with 15 properties, because each time I would tell him, now you sell, now you buy, now you do this, now you do that. He didn't need to work at the end of his life. So you can actually become very successful by doing it at the right time. And it's like swimming with the waves. It's like taking the waves and swimming with it instead of going against the current. And I still look after, you know, some people that get elected and things like that, because when it's a good time to present yourself, that's when you have the choice, the chances to become, you know.
Yeah, this is great, because a friend of mine, Zara, who's also speaking at the event that night as well before you, she talks very much about energy and timing. Like, it's like catching a wave, right? Like just working with the energy of the universe, like the surfing analogy, to like, it's all timing. There's a time to jump on the board, there's a time to catch the wave, there's a time to, and it's just about using the energy to surf that energy rather than swim against it.
Absolutely. And that's it. That's the best picture. Is a lot of people get tired because they launch a business in Mercury retrograde, or they do this and that, and you know it's not going to work, and you know it's going to create problems. And when you start doing cases, because I also help, you know, sometimes in cases, you know, with lawyers, or even to win for people and stuff like that. If they do it at the right time, then they will win. But if they've done something at the wrong time, or launched something, you know, or started to sign contracts, then you end up seeing all those problems in court, because people signed under Mercury retrograde. So I've done astrology since I was 5 years old. So obviously I've got many years behind now. And it just works. It's just the way it is, and it just works all the time. So, you know, it's pretty clear. It's crystal clear. Each time there is a problem, you analyze the situation, you see when the house was bought or when the wedding was done, and you can be sure if there is a problem, is all people weren't compatible or the timing was wrong.
Okay, so this is great. So we've got the CommUnion event coming up in Gold Coast Hinterland this coming Friday from 6 p.m. till like 9:30 p.m. We've got the catering. We're going to have a bit of music, people catching up and talking and sharing and reconnecting. And some people like have misconstrued it, and they said like it's called communion because it's communion with nature and with the elements, like the fires there and the water. There's a beautiful creek. Anyone that's been to Currumbin Valley Harvest that's been there during of a weekend when they're open, it's an amazing space. The waterfalls come down from Kugel Cascades and run right past the venue, and it's really quite amazing. It's communion with the elements. But you're going to be talking to us for quite a while, for maybe 45 minutes with some questions and answers. Like, what are we going to talk about on Friday?
Yes, so I want to talk to you about the future, obviously what's been happening and what has been going on, but also where we are going and why it's, you know, all happening, you know, those last few years. But I also want to help people to be really centered, which is actually really good with that full moon that is coming in as well. It's a fixed T-square, huh? So the more you are grounded, the more you analyze well what's going on.
Sorry, can you say what that is again? Something squared?
Yes. So the full moon eclipse that we are going to go through has only fixed star sign, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. So the best way is to be grounded, but a lot of people actually not grounded or not aligned with their own selves or not aligned with the universe, because everything, let's go back to that wave, everything goes up and down in life. It's inevitable. It's like the waves, it's like the sound, you know, everything goes up and down. And if you are centered, if you know exactly when your time is up, and you make the most out of it and be aware when the time is down, not to take any risks and things like that, then suddenly your life becomes so much easier and you are in sync. You feel it, you know, it's time to move ahead. It's not time to move ahead. It's time to just finish what you have started. And I want people to know individually. So I will give some tools. I will explain the way I do my readings, the way I've been doing astrology, which brings 7 elements, not just one. I actually do things differently, where I've been adding a few things to make sure it was really precise and accurate, very accurate. And I add up all that. And once you start knowing a few tools, how it works, suddenly you are in sync, and suddenly everything becomes easier for you, but around you as well, because your energy has shifted. So suddenly, you know, your kids are successful, you know, your family, the pets, you know, everyone around you. It's like, you know, in a lake, you know, it keeps on rippling, and suddenly you start creating a positive energy, which is what we need. We need a positive world with what has been going on. We need to shift that energy.
Well, I think this is the thing as well, because a lot of so-called conscious community and spiritual community and that sort of thing as well, Muriel, is that like they're like, don't talk about that, don't focus on the negatives. And I think that's the thing that I found interesting about you, is like, particularly in social media as well, is that you've been calling out like what's happening as well. I want to touch on that like really quickly, but particularly on the night, like it's not actually denying what's happening.
No.
I think like a lot of the stuff that I've been studying recently about spiritual teachers and that sort of thing as well is like, it's actually like, for a lot of people have been experiencing a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, but actually coming to terms with the present moment about like not only what potentially what's coming, but also making and finding peace in the present moment.
Absolutely. And I think that's very important to understand what's going on, why it's happening, and what to do about it. Because once you are prepared, then there is no fear, because you are like, okay, I know what's going on. I know what to do. I know what I've got to do to move forward. It's like if you want to launch a business or if you want to change a situation, once you know what's going on and what to do about it, then you can actually change it and make it the way you want it to be. And it is our responsibility as human beings, as humanity, to actually do that, to be able to move forward and get the world that we want. But you can only do that, I think, when you are centered and when you are really feeling good inside yourself, you know, not only loving yourself, but understanding yourself. And I think that is very important.
Okay, beautiful. I'm just going to show the poster here really quickly, if you can see that, okay, with our sponsors. So it's CommUnion events being held this coming for 11/11. Can you just mention like what's the relevance spiritually in relation to 11/11? I know it's like a lot of people sort of see it and that sort of thing. And then just like talking about our sponsors here, Gardener Vegan and Fox's Pantry and BP at Tugan, MFL Creative, Life Effects around the water, and this is our community for conscious investing community. Can you just talk about, just touch on briefly before we close out, about the relevance of 11/11?
Yes, so it's the highest frequency that you can get, especially we are in Scorpio, which goes in the density of the deep self. It's kind of taking up the layers and going really deep into the crystal clear water of the self. And the 11 and the 11 are the highest number, plus obviously the 222. So I will talk about the numbers on the night a little bit more, but it's definitely a very high frequency. So that day is actually the turning point between the last cleaning and then going towards the future. So it doesn't work, you know, the universe doesn't work in saying, oh yes, suddenly we are in New Year's Eve, so now it is the beginning. The beginning will be after that big cleanup that we are going to go through in the next 3 days. That it is individually, or obviously as far as the world is concerned, there will be some events globally that we will find out, and truth that will come up, and things that we will see. And from that point on, you will be able to move forward and create what you want to create, that it is on a personal level or that it is on a global level as well.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Well, I think I might leave it that for there anyway. That's a bit of a taste about like what's coming up for what we're about to experience tomorrow, as far as the blood moon lunar eclipse, and then also our event for 11/11 coming up this Friday evening from 6 till 9:30 p.m. at Currumbin Valley Harvest. I've got the link there. I'll post it in the comments for Eventbrite for people that want to go and get in. And book previously. There are some tickets. There will be some tickets available at the door unless it's sold out prior. And I'm really looking forward to what you've got to say. And it's a good opportunity. We created this event because it's an opportunity for us to actually get together. And there's people that I've been friends with on social media for years that I get to meet in person. And I'm super busy, as sure many of us are. But it's like it's an opportunity once a month for us to get together and just catch up about like the month that's been.
Yes, me too. I cannot wait. I've got a lot of people coming and joining us as well. I cannot wait to be there and share that event with you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Look forward to seeing you then.
Me too.
Thanks guys. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.